How's it going? This is Tyler with Fiction and Copy Decoded with another copy thought for today. About birds, actually. I know I posted quite a bit about birds over the past several weeks, several months. A couple of things here and there. I mean, for a channel that's not focused on birds, is quite a bit, I must admit. One thing I wanted to talk about was, what do birds have to worry about? You might think that birds don't have as much to worry about as people do, and you'd be right, but we do have some things in common with them that we do have to worry about. One is, of course, food, shelter, water. Birds don't drink a lot of water, but they do have to, I think, use it mostly for taking baths and whatnot. As a matter of convenience, they might drink a little bit of water, but not as much as humans have to on a daily basis, usually. One other thing that's interesting is that birds have worries and humans have worries too about the same things, and other worries are different. It's interesting to me how much we do have in common with birds because of what birds have to be concerned with, but it's like not to characterize them as people of a sort of a thing isn't the same, but I think in some aspects it really is, because they have food, water, shelter concerns just like humans do. And I think that makes it interesting to do that from a fiction perspective as well as from a copy perspective. It's useful to me when thinking about those, I was going to say anthropomorphic, as I think the word, wondering, okay, how would things be? And I know cartoons have been made about this. It's basically all cartoons that don't involve human-like characters are anthropomorphic in some manner. Like, what if birds had to use money? If birds couldn't fly, birds had to drive everywhere. I mean, they wouldn't be birds, but how would they use money and so on? That can be used from a fiction perspective as well as from a copy perspective. If you wanted to think about maybe a hook for an email or an opener for a sales letter, I mean, I mentioned that would be very niche as far as that goes for as a setup, but it's interesting to get people to think of things in new ways, or that's something they hadn't considered, even though we all know that, I mean, as of right now, it is, and hopefully will stay the same, that birds don't use money at all because they have no need for it. But they do have other concerns in common with humans that got me basically thinking about those two things at once.